The city, sticks and numbers and pauses. We on reflection, slide across wet pavement. Every corner holds a lesson written in chalk and deck. I move through it slow, not hesitation, calculation. Pressure builds from empty pockets and loud eclairs. Some chase noise, some chase shortcuts. I study patterns. Who rose fast, who vanish faster? Who stay quiet and kept moving? Now it hides in the strength. The loudest voice often leaks fear. I keep my tone level, eyes forward, hands clenched. I learned early how hunger sharpens memory. Missed meals turn into mental legacies. Every fable logged, every slight archive. Dealt for revenge, for awareness. Money, talks and riddles. The promise is freedom, my test and focus. I watch the bent friends and the rivals. Swaps loyalty, bend under fluorescent lights. I chose distance over drama. Dreams feel heavier when you name them. They ask the structure, they demand patience. I broke big bowls in the daily tasks. Small wins, stacked in the leverage. The streets will board attention. You notice timing, notice silence. You notice who bosses exits. You notice who never looks back. I speak to myself in future tense, not fantasy forecast. If this move fails, what survive? If it works, who benefits? I plan for both. The strength of wise when you stop chasing it. It follows consistency. People trust patterns more than promises. I show up, I deliver, I leave. Loudest way less, no share wisely. I learn from elders without copying bams. Blueprints adapt to terrain. What worked before needs revision. Stagnation kills heads and them mistakes. Every risk gets measured twice. Not fair man. I count time as currency. Waste costs more than loss. Attention stays guarded. When nights test resolve. Empty hours whisper reckless ideas. I answer with discipline. Sleep notes, preparation. Tomorrow earns priority. I saw fame, time faces in the mask. Smiles rehearsed, trust outsourced. I kept my circle small, signals clear. Ambition stays quiet, I'm covered, it grows in private. I water it with routine. I cut distractions without apology. Broken stays non-negotiable. Past tries to negotiate blurrings. My listening move on, memory informs direction in every vibe. For emotion decides when out appears. I autograph when numbers do not lie. Accept the way that stills game. Where I'm covered, momentum steeps louder than fear. I write plans like contracts, clear terms to find exits. No illusion, commitment sound daily. The world tests patience with temptation. Fast money, easy praise. I decline politely. Long days reward endurance. I play for sustainability. Legacy forms from habits repeated. Let moments catch it. I invest in process. I protect reputation, both compound quietly. If opportunity knock, time's up a band, no scrambling. No Bible confidence, skill meets timing. What's all scholar? I move through the city unchained. Same pace, same code, eyes up and mind steady. Ownership starts inside, the rest of lives.
Echo with unfinished conversations. Paint peels slow like truth after time passes. I remember counting steps between doors, learning which ones stayed locked, learning which ones lied open. The floor held scars from dropped plates and rushed exits. Every mark recorded at night. Some nights ended in laughter, others ended in silence and sirens. I learned early how quiet teaches faster. Faces changed as seasons rotated. Friends shifted shapes. Some grew sharper, some faded into rumors. Absence explained more than speeches. I watched adults fold stress in a routine. Bills stacked beside hope. Promises stretched thin by exhaustion. I studied posture and tone, not words, results. Corners felt like classrooms. Lessons arrived unannounced. Who spoke too soon? Who stared too long? Who survived by listening? Memory sharpened perception. I recall the smell of rain on hot concrete. The way voices carried at dust. Warnings hidden inside jokes. Affection hidden inside insults. Loss introduced itself without ceremony. A name spoken once, then never over again. I learned grief moves faster than logic. It rearranges priorities overnight. I kept notebooks with bent edges, pages filled with fragments, dates without context, thoughts without polish. They became maps later. Time did not erase scenes, it reorganized them. Moments gained meaning after distance. Mistakes revealed instruction. Patterns surfaced. I noticed how hunger alters decisions. Empty cabinets push imagination. Short-term relief competes with long plans. I chose patience often, not always. Authority looked different from afar. Up close it cracked. I saw confidence paired with fear, control paired with panic. Nothing felt permanent. I learned memory demands responsibility. You either study it or repeat it. Ignoring lessons costs interest. I paid attention. I adjusted behavior. Music from passing cars, narrated evenings. Each verse felt borrowed from someone nearby. Stories overlap, pain recycle, hope resurface. I carried addresses in my head, places tied to turning points. One block taught caution, another taught resilience. Both stayed useful. Age added context, not comfort. Some memories sting sharper now. Understanding deepens impact. Clarity hurts differently. I replay conversations not for regret, for insight. Tone matters, timing matters. The past does not ask permission. It interrupts thought, it informs reaction. I acknowledge it, I keep moving. Wisdom arrived unevenly from strangers, from silence, from watching outcomes, rarely from advice. I learned self-respect starts privately, no audience required. Choices made alone define direction. Integrity forms in isolation. Reputation follows later. Memory trained discipline. Each recall refined judgment. I trust experience earned, not story sold. Evidence matters. I keep history close, not as weight as reference. The past stays active, guiding present steps.
Always echo with unfinished conversations. Always echo with unfinished conversations. Warm air drifts through open windows. Voices float without urgency. The night moves at a friendly pace. I lean back and let conversation breathe. No rush to impress, no script to follow. Confidence sits in posture, shoulders loose, eyes steady. I listen more than I speak, attention creates gravity. People lean closer without realizing why. The room hums with small signals, a laugh held half a second longer. A glance returned with ease, I answer energy with balance, not force, not retreat. Words land clean when intention stays clear, no filler, no performance. The bass line from a passing car sets tempo, it carries through walls, it fades without warning. Moments like this reward awareness. You notice rhythm and movement. You notice pauses between phrases. Style lives in simplicity. Comfort outperforms. Flash ease disarms expectation. I speak with purpose, then stop. Space finishes the thought. Humor slips in sideways. Light unforced. People respond to tone before content. Delivery shapes meaning. Volume rarely helps. I stay present. No scanning exits. No counting minutes. The night offers options. I choose alignment, not excess. Trust builds through calm repetition. Same energy, same code. Attraction grows where pressure leaves. Interest deepens without demand. Nothing feels staged. I read the room in fragments. Footsteps, breathing, silence. Everything communicates. Nothing shouts. I let the moment expand, then contract, then pass. Control shows through restraint. Power hides in comfort, status rests in ease. I move with awareness of others, not to please, to connect. Conversation flows like shared memory. Stories overlap, laughter stitches gaps. Time slows when attention sharpens. Minutes stretch, details surface. I notice how calm changes perception. People mirror it, tension dissolves. No need to dominate space. Presence feels it naturally. The night keeps offering cues. I accept selectively. Choice defines direction. Nothing feels forced. Everything aligns. No momentum stays smooth. I exit without spectacle. No announcement, no lingering. The energy remains behind, quiet, recognizable. 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 I read the room in fragments, footsteps, breathing, silence. Everything communicates.
Rhythm enters the room before names do. Feet respond without instruction. Hands mark time on tables and knees. The sound carries memory forward. Notes travel through years and rooms. Nothing feels old, nothing feels borrowed. I hear movement inside the pattern. Swing built from shared breath. History spoken through repetition. This music holds conversation, question and answer pass smoothly. No one rushes the reply. Voices layer over horns and drums. Each tone respects the next. Space matters as much as sound. I learn structure from listening. Bars teach balance and proselytizes teaches trust. No single voice dominates. Energy circulates. Everyone contributes presence. The rhythm welcomes mistakes. Recovery defines skill. Flow returns when ego steps aside. I move with the pulse, not ahead, not behind. Timing shapes expression. Late feels lazy. Early feels anxious. Right time feels effortless. Stories live inside progressions. A chord shift signals change. A pause signals intent. This sound never isolates. It gathers people. It holds space open. I watch generations meet inside melody. Different ages share tempo, experience trades with curiosity. The groove carries lessons without lectures. Discipline feels playful, focus feels light. I speak through cadence, meaning lands through rhythm. Delivery shapes understanding. Practice sharpens freedom. Repetition builds confidence. Confidence invites variation. I respect origins through continuation. Study leads to extension. Memory fuels growth. The beat feels alive, it adapts to environment. Rooms changing. Crowd shaping. I learn patience from long solos. Tension earns release, weight and amplifies impact. Every instrument leaves fingerprints. Tone reflects personality, control reflects intention. The sound values collaboration. Listening outweighs display, unity outlasts flash. I stay present inside progression. Counting bars while feeling swing. Awareness guides movement. This music travels without borders. Language fades, vibration connects. I hear pride without arrogance. Skill speaks through consistency. Respect circulates naturally. The groove invites participation. Even silence plays a role. Rest completes the phrase. I learned how roots anchor branches. Expansion stays grounded. Direction stays clear. The past feels active here, not preserved, not frozen. It breathes through adaptation, each new voice adds dimension. I carry this approach everywhere, work, conversation, creation, balance over excess, dialogue over monologue, feel over force, the rhythm stays honest. No disguise, no distortion, I trust the process, patterns reveal themselves over time. Commitment refines style, sound builds community through repetition. Shared movement forms memory, memory strengthens identity. I stand inside the groove, not above it, not outside it. This music reminds me why creation matters. Connection lasts longer than attention. Connection lasts longer than attention. I just embrace and out values applause. I move forward with respect for foundation. Steps informed by history, direction shaped by listening. The rhythm continues. It does not ask permission. It invites response.
I kept moving without asking why. Speed felt safer than reflection. Distance mass repetition. Every turn promised relief, every shortcut looped back. Pattern stayed intact. I chased distraction, dressed as progress. Busy days at unresolved choices. Motion replaced direction. Laughter softened tension. Jokes hid avoidance, charm delayed accountability. I noticed habits forming quietly, late decisions, early excuses. Running felt active, standing still felt exposed. Exposure demanded honesty. I told myself movement meant growth. Evidence suggested otherwise, results stayed familiar. The mind finds clever ways to postpone change. Tomorrow became a shelter, urgency dissolved. I blame timing, I blame circumstance, I blame fatigue. Responsibility, waited patiently, it never chased, it stayed visible. I replayed choices at random hours, not to judge, to understand. Why repeat outcomes already studied? Why expect new results without revision? Logic asked quietly. I learned avoidance consumes energy more than effort, more than correction. Facing issues reduced noise, clarity replaced tension, focus returned. I stopped narrating struggle, I started measuring action. Metrics exposed truth, fear appeared smaller when name undefined. Fear felt larger, precision reduced weight. I review decisions like data, inputs, outputs. Some moves lacked intention, some reactions lacked thought. Awareness adjusted pace, humor remained useful, not as cover as relief. I kept lightness without evasion, balance improved communication, listen improved outcomes. Cycles revealed entry points, triggers showed patterns, patterns suggested exits. I practiced staying present during discomfort. Discomfort faded faster than expected, growth followed. I noticed how often escape looked productive. Meetings replaced action, planning replaced execution. I trimmed excess commitments, focus improved, energy stabilized. Running used to feel necessary, now it feels optional. Choice replaced impulse, I paused before decision. Seconds changed direction, patience paid dividends. Old habits resisted quietly, they negotiated relevance. I declined politely, I stopped dramatizing mistakes. Correction worked better, forward motion resumed. I tracked progress, honestly no inflation, no denial. Small adjustments delivered results, consistency built momentum. Momentum restored confidence. I recognized avoidance as fear of clarity. Clarity demanded standards, standards demanded effort. Effort felt lighter than expected, resistance exaggerated cost. Reality proved manageable. I replaced running with evaluation. Evaluation led to planning, planning led to execution. Execution revealed capability, capability reduced fear. Fear lost influence. I spoke openly with myself, no performance, no audience. Truth required less energy than excuses. Meaning simplified, direction sharpened. I learned progress tolerates imperfection. Avoidance demands perfection, perfection stalled action. I accepted incomplete steps, iteration improved quality. Learning accelerated, time felt cooperative once honesty arrived. Days felt usable, evenings felt lighter. I stayed with discomfort longer, answers surfaced naturally. Insight followed patience, running stopped defending identity. Growth took its place, stability followed. I noticed how often escape framed itself as freedom. True freedom required presence, presence required courage. Courage grew through repetition, practice normalized effort, effort normalized change. I held myself accountable without hostility. Firm standards, clear intent. Humor remained part of the process. It kept perspective healthy. It prevented rigidity. I adjusted expectations. Progress measured in consistency, not intensity. I stopped outrunning questions. I started answering them. Answers reduced noise. Movement gained meaning again. Steps aligned with purpose. Direction stayed steady. I learned rest differs from escape. Rest restores. Escape delays. I chose restoration. Energy returned. Focus followed. I noticed fewer loops, fewer excuses, fewer repeats. The urge to run still appears. Recognition arrives faster. Choice intervenes. I stayed with the moment. Breathing steady thought. Thought informs action. I move forward without urgency. Pace feels intentional. Progress feels earned. No chase, no retreat. Only direction.
The afternoon holds a familiar weight. Light rests gently on concrete and glass. Nothing dramatic happens. Meaning still forms. I think about footsteps layered over years. Some steps rush, some dragged, some stop without warning. Conversations echo after voices fade. Advice arrives late, understanding arrives later. Memory sharpens edges, we share time without measuring it. Hours dissolved into routine, routine turned into history. History shaped posture. I remember gestures more than words, a raised eyebrow, a pause before agreement, a warning delivered softly. Absence rewrites space, chairs feel larger, rooms feel unfinished. Silence gains authority, I learned loyalty through repetition. Showing up mattered, staying consistent mattered, explanations mattered less. Mistakes felt heavier with witnesses, growth felt quieter, progress rarely announced itself, results spoke later. We laughed during moments others overlooked, humor softened pressure. Pressure revealed character, character stayed visible under stress. Loss arrived without rehearsal, no preparation, eased impact. Life shifted lanes instantly, balance required recalibration. I carry lessons without display. Memory stays private, application stays public. Conduct reveals respect. Time rearranged priorities, urgency replaced assumption. Places replaced expectation, focus replaced distraction. I revisit shared paths and thought. Corners taught caution, open spaces taught trust. Both remain useful. Grief did not demand attention, it waited, it surfaced during calm moments. It tested discipline, I chose reflection over retreat. Stagnation offered comfort, movement demanded effort. Effort produced clarity, names from the past surface unexpectedly. Dreams trigger recall, music triggers scenes, smells unlock chapters. Memory feels active, it informs decisions, it corrects behavior, it rewards honesty. I learn restraint from observation, reaction often misleads. Response carries intention, control preserved dignity. Friendship built accountability, feedback arrived unfiltered. Growth followed friction, respect deepened through honesty. Time exposed contradictions, words lost weight. Patterns gained importance, consistency earned trust. I speak carefully about history, accuracy matters. Detail honors truth, exaggeration dilutes respect. Shared struggle created solid bonds, understanding required no explanation. Presence spoke clearly, absence spoke louder. I do not preserve memory for comfort, I preserve it for direction. Lessons guide choices, choices shape outcomes. Life continues without pause, reflection risks palaces. Action sustains momentum, balance requires awareness. I honor through behavior, standards maintained quietly. Values expressed daily, intent revealed through habit. Time shortened distance between cause and effect. Decisions echo faster, responsibility intensified. Awareness sharpened, I learned humility from lost control proves limited. Preparation still matters, character faces test. The past remains present, not as burden as reference as instruction. I walk forward, carry memory carefully. Steps feel deliberate, direction feels earned, purpose feels grounded. Nothing replaces presence. Nothing revises history. Purpose respects both. Purpose feels grounded. 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 Thoughts slow down when noise fades. Breath finds a steady pattern. Attention returns to the present moment. I move through days with lighter intent. Not careless. Focused. Pressure used to sit heavy in the chest. Expectations stacked without order. Confusion followed effort. I learned release through awareness, not escape, not denial. Every step responds to mindset, clarity shapes direction, discipline shapes pace. I stop racing visible clocks, time responds better to patience, progress prefers calm hands. Ideas arrive softer now, they stay longer, they feel usable. I separate need from noise, desire from impulse, purpose from distraction. Growth feels internal before visible, confidence forms quietly, balance replaces tension. I listen to thought without judgment. Observation reveals patterns, patterns reveal choices. Energy flows where focus rests, scattered focus drains strength. Aligned focus restores it, I carry less weight each day. Old doubts lose relevance, old fears lose volume. Learning feels ongoing, mistakes inform adjustment. Adjustment refines direction. I trust steady effort, consistency builds resilience. Resilience supports freedom, calm allows insight. Insight guides action, action stays intentional. I choose simplicity and routine, clear goals, clear limits. Momentum grows without force, results arrive through repetition. Satisfaction follows alignment. The mind opens when pressure lifts, creativity breathes, solutions appear. I respect silence, it organizes thought, it restores balance. Movement feels deliberate, not rushed, not stalled. I
release attachment to outcomes. Focus stays on process, process shapes outcome naturally. The path feels lighter now, not effortless, sustainable. I notice surroundings with sharper awareness. Colors feel clearer, sounds feel intentional. Presence sharpens perception, perception improves decisions, decisions define direction. I build habits with care. Sleep matters, reflection matters. Mental clutter dissolves through practice. Attention stays guarded, boundaries stay firm. I value progress over approval. Internal alignment outwears external noise. Self-trust deepens. Calm spreads through daily actions. Conversation slow, listening improves. I respond rather than react. Control replaces impulse, intent replaces habit. Thoughts move freely without pressure. They rise, they pass. I allow space for growth. Patience supports learning. Learning strengthens confidence. The future feels approachable, not overwhelming, not distant. I carry momentum with ease. Direction stays clear, purpose stays grounded. Each day adds refinement, each choice reinforces balance. Each step confirms progress. I stay aware of mental posture. Tension signals correction, ease signals alignment. This approach shapes everything, work, rest, creation. Clarity reduces friction. Focus reduces waste, balance sustains energy. I move forward without excess, light and intention. Firm and resolved, thoughts feel organized, actions feel honest, results feel earned. I trust this rhythm, it supports growth, it protects peace. The weight lives through understanding, understanding grows through attention, attention stays present. I continue with calm purpose, no rush, no retreat. Direction remains steady, progress continues quietly, balance hold.
Streetlights hum over worn asphalt. Baseline slide beneath footsteps like liquid patience. Corners hold laughter, whispered rhymes. Hands trace notes and margins while pens float like brushes. Each word deliberate, each pause a beat in the advances of evening. The city exhales rhythm softly. Horns echo faintly from open windows. A piano drifts through the air like percussion taps from passing ties and distant trains. Every sound folds into the next. Every silence holds intention. Time slows, bending around motion and thought. Feet move in subtle cadence. Fingers drum on tables. I scan the movement of shadows and light. Conversation curves like smoke. Jokes fold between serious observation. We're balanced with awareness. Every sentence a ripple across a still surface. Memory leaves in brick and mortar, in chip paint, in graffiti curling like whispers. Lessons absorbed through observation. Repeated rhythm shape instinct. Mistakes echo quietly, guiding next motion without blame or urgency. Patience polishes awareness. Repetition cements understanding, and every small gesture contributes to flow. Music blends with movement. Notes drift with wind through alleys and open doors. Rhythms curl around corners and steps. Subtle interplay of percussion, melody and environment. Every gesture a conversation. Every glance a subtle cue. Every breath timed with rhythm unseen but felt. Charm manifests quietly. Confidence hums low, not needing applause. Resonating in posture and glance. Observation carries authority. Subtlety enforces presence. Skill grows invisible until applied. Influence emerges through consistency. The night encourages reflection. Darkness highlights contrast. Neon glimmers against wet asphalt. Every shadow instructs, every reflection hints at story. Every detail contributes to awareness. Rhythm extends beyond sound. Movement and thought align naturally, and perception sharpens through repetition. Stories unfold between moments. A smile across the table, a line that lands with balance. A laugh tucked into timing. Gestures that communicate more than words. Humor dances between intellect and sensation. Flow threads playfulness with insight. Every exchange becomes laid alive. Hands fold, unfold, cups, gestures, feet glide, almost imperceptible. Eyes record micro details, mind catalogs patterns in real time. Patience converts observation into quiet authority. Every motion deliberate, every pause weighted with intention. History hums beneath asphalt. Every wall, every poster, every mark contains lessons. Legacy emerges not from loud proclamations, but from subtle repetition. Quiet mastery, music, movement, conversation, silence, all fold into rhythm. Every detail contributes to flow. Evening bends in the night, air thick with scents of coffee, smoke, rain, and distant spices. Steps fold into rhythm naturally. Gestures flow with environment. Flow informs movement. Movement reinforces presence. Every decision compounds quiet and in awareness. Confidence is smooth. Charm is measured. Intelligence is fluid with threads between observation and reflection. Each insight folded lightly into action. Skill exists quietly until summoned. Patience multiplies impact. Presence communicates without speaking. Every shadow, every street lamp, every corner teaches. Observation polishes instinct. Silence informs strategy. Consistency builds influence. The city is alive with rhythm, notes, light, movement, breath interweaving seamlessly. Small moments become landmarks. Every gesture a ripple, every glance a chord, every pause a measure. Legacy resides in subtlety. Authority emerges through restraint, flow, sustained understanding, and presence defines the story unfolding in motion. Rhythm threads everything together. Music, speech, gesture, thought, all aligning naturally, flowing through environment, perception, and action. Observation teaches patience, polishes and cease enforces. Subtlety commands and life moves as a living lady indulges it. Even when unnoticed, every beat matters. Every micro gesture communicates. Every rhythm contributes to the ongoing conversation of streets and city. Movement, music, mind and environment folding into each other seamlessly. Presence resonates quietly. Skill persists invisibly. Awareness guides and rhythm shapes life in ways beyond measurement. Time stretches across corners and alleys. Footsteps echo and layer cadence. Breath flows with air and melody. Flow becomes thought. Thought informs movement, and every small action becomes part of a larger living conversation.
City exhales slowly beneath amber streetlights. Concrete breathes stories into passing feet. Sidewalks hum with hidden rhythm. Every corner is subtle pulse. Every shadow carries weight. Every window reflects another layer of life. Hands fold around cups of warmth. Fingers trace notebook margins while thoughts ripple quietly. Words float like smoke in the night, twisting, curling, folding into each other. Laughter drifts between lines, humor folded in observation. Subtle gestures carry louder truth than speech. Steps blend into rhythm, feet tapping without conscious thought. Muscle memorizing cadence, eyes absorbing motion, light and nuance. Every glance becomes instruction, every pause a reflection. Every detail cataloged and translated into instinct. Buildings stand as silent witnesses, brick and mortar hum in memory. Graffiti curling in the wind like punctuation, each mark a lesson for those who notice. Time layers on top of itself, moments repeat with variation. Patterns emerging where attention is focused. Mistakes echo lightly, guiding the next motion. Traffic pulses like a heartbeat, horn and brake tapping syncopation into the night. Wind threads between alleys like hi-hat rolls. Rain draws new lines on asphalt. Every sound contributes to the ambient beat. Observation becomes interaction. Patience converts awareness into quiet mastery. Flow emerges from preparation. Presence asserts itself without force. Conversations fold like jazz improvisation. Tone bending over intention. Time and balancing meaning. Humor threading between insight and reflection. Every word weighted. Every silence intentional. Every glance shaping perception. Memory hums beneath asphalt and lamplight. Stories of those gone whispered through alleys. Legacies lingering in corners and windows. Guiding motion without insistence. Resilience grows quietly. Every repetition polishing instinct. Every small gesture reinforcing rhythm. Music drifts unseen but felt. Bass lines threading through distant conversation. Piano notes floating through open windows. Every melody shaping motion. Every silence teaching observation. Charm manifests softly. Confidence hums beneath interaction. Skill accumulates in shadow. Authority emerges through subtle consistency. Evening bends slowly into night. Shadows deepen but light persists in fragments. Neon and street lamps illuminating layers of life. Movement aligns with rhythm naturally. Gestures, steps, and glances folding seamlessly into flow. Observation informs instinct. Experience polishes understanding. Every action compounded quietly into mastery. Every street, every corner, every window instructs. Small moments becoming landmarks. Every pause, glance, and gesture composing a narrative. Life unfolding as an improvised composition. Patience guides timing. Attention builds awareness. Skill grows invisible until applied. Presence communicates without speaking. Mistakes echo lightly. Lessons accumulate in quiet repetition. Every breath, every step, every glance shaping comprehension. The city never pauses, yet it teaches continuously. Layer rhythm and perception into every interaction. Subtlety enforces authority. Observation enforces influence. Patience enforces resilience. Every micro detail contributes to understanding. Movement folds into rhythm. Gesture folds into thought. Flow folds in awareness. Every step carries intention. Every pause carries weight. Every glance carries insight. Even the silence hums. Concrete and air vibrating with layered history. Every alley, every lamplight, every echo contributing. Shaping motion, perception, and thought. Music, motion, observation, reflection. All interweaving seamlessly. Creating a living, breathing proposition. Soft, deliberate, intelligent, continuous. Breath aligns with rhythm. Feet align with melody. Hands align with thought. Every motion intentional. Every micro detail accounted for. Presence resonates quietly. Skill persists invisibly. Observation sustains instinct. Flow shapes experience. The city teaches, the night instructs. Life unfolds in motion and awareness. Every small act part of a greater composition. Every moment contributing to rhythm and understanding.
The glass stays between me and the city. Movement slides past without permission. Faces blur into purpose. Everyone going somewhere they agreed to need. I sit still on purpose. The seat feels temporary like everything else I have worn. Titles, expectations, illusions built for survival. They itch when worn too long. There is comfort in not being seen. No performance required, no posture to maintain. Breathing returns to its original shape. Shoulders lower without instruction. Outside runs on schedules, inside runs on truth. Truth takes longer, truth asks better questions. Truth does not rush answers. I have smiled through rooms that drain me, nodded through conversations that erase me, accepted noise as proof of living, paid with quiet exhaustion. No refunds, no. The world loves labels, strong, mysterious, difficult. It never asks what those labels cost, it only wears them comfortably. Here between movement and arrival, I loosen each layer, not dramatically, not for shock, for relief. Freedom does not shout, it exhales, slow, unimpressed, certain. The city presses its face to the glass, asking for attention. I watch without answering. Observation feels like mercy today. Distance keeps me intact. Every mile strips another demand. Be palatable, be grateful, be smaller, be louder. Contradictions stack heavy. I choose to sit with the discomfort. No distractions, no rehearsed explanations, just presence unfiltered. Solitude is not loneliness, here it is alignment. A recalibration of pulse, a reminder of internal rhythm. One I forgot while keeping pace. I am tired of being legible, tired of translating myself for comfort, tired of adjusting tone, volume, truth to avoid friction. This space does not ask me to soften. It does not reward compliance. It simply holds me neutral, honest. The body remembers things the mind negotiates away. Tension stored in hips, breath held behind ribs. A history written in posture. Release feels unfamiliar at first. I let it happen anyway. Muscles unlearn defense, thoughts slow their arguing. Silence stretches wide, not empty, full. Outside, everyone performs certainty. Inside, uncertainty breathes freely. Questions roam without fear. Answers take shape when ready, no deadlines attached. Fame looks different from behind glass. So does success, so does approval. They shrink when not chasing them. Perspective rearranges desire. I am not disappearing, I am subtracting noise. What remains feels accurate, raw, unmarketed, mine. Exposure is not always visibility. Sometimes it is honesty without witnesses. A private unmasking, no applause, no defense. This seat does not promise arrival. It offers transition, movement without demand. A pause that still travels, enough for now. When I stand again, I will carry less armor, speak with less apology, choose with less fear, leave earlier when misaligned. For now, I watch the city move. I stay still, I breathe, and nothing asks me to be more than this. Slower when you lean close, noise falls back like a tide at night. Thoughts stop fighting for space, attention tightens on one point. Your name moves through my chest, soft weight, steady pull. Time loosens its grip on rush, minutes stretch without tension. Outside voices lose their edge, inside signals rise. You speak through actions, hands placed right on my spine. Silence chosen with care, promises shown through presence. I listen through words, care shaped into sentences. Questions asked straight, needs laid on the table. Both are true, both wanna meet. The gap stays wide when we miss the map. I offer phrases with open palms. You answer with shelter and heat. I reach for clarity, you reach for calm. Neither is wrong, both feel unseen. I stand near you, still feel far. Distance hides inside the same room. Tell me how you hear love, I will tune my voice. Tell me how you show it, I will read your sign. Meet me halfway, no guessing games, no quiet tests. Say it plain, I will stay present. I will adjust my steps, not from fear, from choice. Yeah.
Your care lands soft, mine lands loud. We trip on timing, we pause, we try again. I search for agreement, hearts stay open, no door slam, no name is thrown. Only the work of learning. When I ask for reassurance, it is not weakness, it is direction. A sign on the road when you step back to breathe. It is not distance, it is repair. A reset for your pulse. I see you, see me too. Touch speaks in warmth, words speaking light. Let them share the same space, let them stop competing. Hold my hand, say what you feel. Stay it through the quiet, stay it through the noise. I am not asking for perfection, I am asking for effort. Daily honest, messy at times, real every time. I wanna know I matter, you wanna feel trusted. These needs stand side by side. The past left echoes, old patterns knock. I choose not to run, you choose not to hide. We slow the pace, we check the mirrors, we learn each curve. If love is a language, let us study together. Flashcards of patience, notes written in care. Mistakes corrected with grace, progress measured in closeness. I will not shrink my voice, you will not dim. Yeah, we add, we blend, we build a shared tone. One where touch listens, one where words hold. Stay with me through misunderstanding, stay through the pause, stay when comfort feels thin. I stay tuned, not out of habit, out of respect. When the world pulls hard, we return here. This space we shape, breathing even, eyes steady. Love spoken, love shown at the same time, in the same sentence. Without fear, without doubt, with choice, with you. They taught desire before discipline, attention before intention, applause before self-respect. Lessons arrive loud, consequences arrive quiet. Young minds learn value through reaction. Eyes on skin, hands on approval, worth measured by response time. Silence mistaken for power, crouch your behavior they never carry home. Praise feels warm, it fades fast, bills remain. Memory remains longer, bodies turn into statements, statements turn into habits. Habits shape futures, nobody warns you early, everybody judges later. Confidence without grounding leaks, freedom without direction, fractures, pleasure without awareness leaves residue. Energy spent without return builds debt. Men taught pursue over presence, numbers over names, distance framed as control, care mocked, loneliness normalized. Women taught display over depth, desire mistaken for influence, boundaries painted as fear, silence traded for acceptance, peace postponed, both fed the same script. Validation equals worth, attention equals power, image equals truth. The script lies, look closer, who benefits, who disappears, who pays emotionally. Patterns never hide long, integrity sounds boring to a loud room. Restraint looks weak on fast screens, consistency lacks glamour, it builds futures quietly. Pressure sells shortcuts collect interest to risk compounds and regret. Nobody escapes the bill. Sex carries weight, so does absence of choice, so does choice ignored. Power unused stays on, power misused transfers pain. Nothing wrong with desire, everything wrong with erasing self. Nothing wrong with pleasure, everything wrong with losing direction. Ask better questions, why this person, why this time, and why this cost? Answers reveal truth fast. If attraction lacks respect, step back early. If attention lacks care, leave clean, exit saves years. No need to perform, value carry it. Rooms adjust, people reveal intentions, noise settles. Men earn trust through consistency, presence, accountability, emotional literacy, action aligned with words. Women earn peace through boundaries, clarity, self-regard, choice without apology, standards held steady, growth as honesty, daily uncomfortable, necessary, non-negotiable. Legacy starts private, who you choose, what you accept, what you excuse, what you repeat. Ego sells fast, wisdom compounds slow, time exposes difference, always does. Attention fades, character stays, body sage, decisions echo, truth outlives trends. Protect your worth, no audience required, no permission requested, no apology owed. Move with intention, speak with clarity, act with awareness. Let actions talk, respect survives passion. Discipline outlasts desire, self-knowledge builds safety. That thing everyone chases, approval, status, bodies, it never stays. What stays? Self-respect, direction, standards, peace earned. Choose wisely, the lesson repeats until learned. not cruel, precise. When you are near, the world loses its posture. Lights forget their purpose, rooms stop performing. Air settles into something you resemble. Attention no longer scatters, it rests. Bills stack, phones vibrate. Names echo from places I do not stand. None of it holds weight, not because it disappears, because your presence outweighs it. Gravity learns a new rule. I do not feel pulled, I feel placed, as if this moment was reserved, as if time stepped aside on purpose. Breathing slows without instruction, thoughts stop negotiating. There is nothing urgent left to prove. Your voice does not rush, it lands. Each word sits where it belongs. Silence between sentences stays warm. Nothing feels unfinished, nothing asks for explanation. Crowds exist somewhere else. Ambition waits its turn, pride loosens its grip. The future stops knocking, the past stays quiet. All directions fold into now. I have chased meaning in mirrors. I have borrowed confidence from noise. None of it stayed, this stays. No performance required, no version of myself needed, only presence. Your hand does not claim, it reassures. Touch without demand, closeness without pressure. Yeah, there is space to breathe, there is no need to leave. If the world ended mid-sentence, if lights cut without warning, if plans fell through each other, nothing would fracture here. This would still hold shape. I do not think about tomorrow, I do not bargain with memory. I sit inside the moment, fully awake without effort, calm without defense. Even chaos sounds distant, like weather behind thick glass. It exists, it does not enter. This space has its own climate. I bring nothing impressive, you ask for nothing polished. There is no exchange rate, no keeping score, only shared stillness, only quiet agreement. Time does not stretch, it dissolves. Seconds forget their order, minutes stop counting themselves. There is no before, there is no after, only this. I could lose everything outside this room. Titles, plans, direction, it would register as noise, a temporary inconvenience, because meaning stands right here. Yeah. Your presence edits my priorities. Without argument, without force, things fall away on their own. What remains feels accurate. There is no promise spoken, no future outline, no guarantee requested, and yet certainty fills the space. Not loud, not fragile, steady. If love has weight, this is density. If peace has sound, this is silence done right. If connection has shape, this is it. Nothing asks for more, nothing feels missing, nothing competes for attention. The world waits patiently, it knows it is not needed right now. When we move, we do not break the moment, we carry it. When we speak, we do not disturb it, we deepen it. I'm not escaping reality, I am choosing clarity. This is not detachment, this is alignment. Everything else resumes later. Obligations, motion, noise, they will still exist. They always do, but they do not define this. Right now. Nothing even matters, not because nothing exists, because this exists.
Yeah. The afternoon holds a familiar weight. Light rests gently on concrete and glass. Nothing dramatic happens. Meaning still forms. Yeah. I think about footsteps layered over years. Some steps rush, some drag, some stop without warning. Conversations echo after voices fade. Advice arrives late, understanding arrives later. Memory sharpens edges. We shared time without measuring it. Hours dissolved into routine, routine turned into history. History shaped posture. I remember gestures more than words, a raised eyebrow, a pause before agreement, a warning delivered softly. Absence rewrites space, chairs feel larger, rooms feel unfinished, silence gains authority. I learned loyalty through repetition, showing up mattered, staying consistent mattered, explanations mattered less. Mistakes felt heavier with witnesses, growth felt quieter, progress rarely announced itself, results spoke later. We laughed during moments others overlooked, humor softened pressure, pressure revealed character, character stayed visible under stress, loss arrived without rehearsal, no preparation eased impact. Life shifted lanes instantly, balance required recalibration. I carry lessons without display, memory stage private, application stays public, conduct reveals respect, time rearrange priorities, urgency replace assumption, patience replace protection, focus replace distraction. I revisit shared past and thought, corners taught caution, open spaces taught trust, both remain useful. Grief did not demand attention, it waited, it surfaced during calm moments, it tested discipline. I chose reflection over retreat, stagnation offered comfort, movement demanded effort, effort produced clarity, names from the past surfing expectedly, dreams trigger recall, music triggers scenes, smells unlock chapters, memory feels active, it informs decisions, it corrects behavior, it rewards honesty. I learned restraint from observation, reaction often misleads, response carries intention, control preserves dignity, friendship built accountability, feedback arrived unfiltered, growth follow friction, respect deepened through honesty, time exposed contradictions, words lost weight, patterns gain importance, consistency earned trust. I speak carefully about history, accuracy matters, detail, honest truth, exaggeration dilutes respect, shared struggle created silent bonds, understanding required no explanation, presence spoke clearly, absence spoke louder. I do not preserve memory for comfort, I preserve it for direction. Lessons guide choices, choices shape outcomes, life continues without pause, reflection risks paralysis, action sustains momentum, balance requires awareness. I honor through behavior, standards maintained quietly, values expressed daily, intent revealed through habit, time shortened distance between cause and effect, decisions echo faster, responsibility intensified, awareness sharpened. I learned humility from loss, control proves limited, preparation still matters, character faces tests, the past remains present, not as burden as reference as instruction. I walk forward, carry memory carefully, steps feel deliberate, direction feels earned, purpose feels grounded, nothing replaces presence, nothing revises history, progress respects both. Whoa.
Thoughts slow down when noise fades. Breath finds a steady pattern. Attention returns to the present moment. I move through days with lighter intent, not careless, focused.
Pressure, you sit heavy in the chest. Pressure, you be action on the happy on the chest. Oh, style. Pressure, you be happy in the chest. Oh, style. Happy on the chest.
Pressure used to sit heavy in the chest. Expectations stacked without order. Confusion followed effort. I learned release through awareness, not escape, not denial. Every step responds to mindset. Clarity shapes direction. Discipline shapes pace. I stop racing invisible clocks. Time responds better to patience. Progress prefers calm hands. Ideas arrive softer now. They stay longer, they feel usable. I separate need from noise, desire from impulse, purpose from distraction. Growth feels internal before visible. Confidence forms quietly. Balance replaces tension. I listen to thought without judgment. Observation reveals patterns. Patterns reveal choices. Energy flows with focus. Rest scattered focus drains strength. Aligned focus restores it. I carry less weight each day. Old doubts lose relevance, old fears lose volume. Learning feels ongoing, mistakes inform adjustment. Adjustment refines direction. I trust steady effort, consistency builds resilience. Resilience supports freedom. Calm allows insight, insight guides action. Action stays intentional. I choose simplicity and routine, clear goals, clear limits. Women grows without force, results arrive through repetition. Satisfaction follows alignment. The mind opens when pressure lifts, creativity breathes, solution appear. I respect silence, it organizes thought, it restores balance. Movement feels deliberate, not rushed, not stalled. I release attachment to outcomes, focus stays on process. Process shapes outcome naturally. The path feels lighter now, not effortless, sustainable. I notice surroundings with sharper awareness. Colors feel clearer, sounds feel intentional. Presence sharpens perception, perception improves decisions. Decisions define direction. I build habits with care. Sleep matters, reflection matters. Mental clutter dissolves through practice. Attention stays guarded, boundaries stay firm. I value progress over approval. Internal alignment outweighs external noise. Self-trust deepens, calm spreads through daily actions. Conversation slow, listen improves. I respond rather than react. Control replaces impulse, intent replaces habit. Thoughts move freely without pressure. They rise, they pass. I allow space for growth. Patience supports learning. Learning strengthens confidence. The future feels approachable, not overwhelming, not distant. I carry momentum with ease. Direction stays clear, purpose stays grounded. Each day adds refinement. Each choice reinforces balance. Each step confirms progress. I stay aware of mental posture. Attention signals correction. Each signals alignment. This approach shapes everything. Work, rest, creation. Clarity reduces friction. Focus reduces waste. Balance sustains energy. I move forward without excess. Light and intention. Firm and resolve. Thoughts feel organized. Actions feel honest. Results feel earned. I trust this rhythm. It supports growth. It protects peace. The weight lifts through understanding. Understanding grows through attention. But attention stays present. I continue with calm purpose. No rush, no retreat. Direction remains steady. Progress continues quietly. Balance holds.
Passion up. Passion lumen every rhythm section. Passion lumen every rhythm section. Don't stop. Passion up. Passion lumen every rhythm section. Don't stop. Every old chest.
Morning light hits old walls with no apology. Dust floats with laughter once stay late. I stand inside rooms built from memory. Each corner holds a voice, each shadow keeps a name. Time passed without asking permission. People change positions, some move forward, some stop moving. Some left early and never returned. Lost taught structure, stripped softness from excuses. It demanded attention, it forced priority into order. I remember shared walks with no destination. Talk stretched thin by long pauses. Silence felt full back then. Nothing needed filling, we learned trust through repetition. Showing up counted more than speech. Presence proved loyalty, consistency built bonds. Mistakes arrived often, lessons follow slower. Growth required patience, memory kept score. I replay small scenes, a nod across a room, a laugh at the wrong time. Advice given sideways, warnings disguised as jokes. Absence speaks louder than arguments, it leaves space with sharp edges. You feel it later, usually too late. Grief does not shout, it waits, it returns during quiet moments. It tests focus, I carry names with care. Not to glorify, to respect, accuracy, honest truth. Shared history builds responsibility. You represent more than yourself. Actions echo backward, choices reflect lineage. I learned restraint from watching reactions. Anger burns fast, control lasts longer. Dignity protects memory. We dream without timelines, plans felt infinite. Reality shortened distance, time exposed limits. Some promises stayed unfinished, others fulfilled beyond expectation. Both deserve acknowledgement. I speak with measured tone, emotion stays clear. Drama distorts meaning, calm delivers weight. Friendship shaped identity, it offered mirrors without distortion. Feedback arrived honest, growth followed friction. I move forward carrying reference points, moments define direction. History informs posture, experience guides pace. I do not romanticize struggle, I respect survival. Endurance builds wisdom, pain taught precision.
Faces from the past appear unexpectedly, reflections in glass. Dreams without context, music triggers recall. Every memory carries instruction. Some warn, some encourage, all demand attention. I choose responsibility over nostalgia, reflection over retreat, purpose over paralysis, tribute life through action. Conduct proves respect, values transmit through behavior. I keep conversation alive through practice, lessons applied daily, standards maintained quietly. Life continues without pause, time does not negotiate. Progress requires movement, I honor by moving correctly, by choosing integrity, by staying present. The past stays active, not as burden as guide. I walk with awareness of who walked before past. Feel crowded with memory, direction stays clear. Nothing replaces presence, nothing rewrites history. Forward motion carries meaning, carries meaning, carries meaning, carries meaning. Every notion, every notion, over notion carries meaning, carries meaning, carries meaning, carries meaning. Bliss carries meaning, carries meaning, carries meaning.
Everything glowed without effort. Light sat easily on your face. Conversation flowed like it knew the way. Silence felt safe, not empty. I mistook ease for permanence. Your presence rearranged my priorities. Days bent around shared moments. I learned your rhythms, your pauses, the way your eyes held questions without asking. Affection arrived gently, no alarms, no warnings, just warmth spreading slow. I leaned in without checking the ground. Love made me generous with trust, loose with boundaries, certain without proof. I gave benefit where clarity should have lived. I called it devotion. Time introduced friction, small at first glances, held too long elsewhere. Words softened to avoid conflict, truth postponed for peace. I felt the shift before I named it. Intuition tapping quietly, a tightening in my chest. Laughter losing weight, connection thinning without explanation. Jealousy did not arrive loud, it crept in wearing concern. Questions framed as care, silence framed as patience. I watched myself change. I guarded what I once offered freely. Measured tone, counted effort, tracked distance. Love turned vigilant, you noticed. Pulled back, called it pressure, I called it awareness. Neither felt understood. Arguments circled the same truths, spoken sideways, never landed clean. We fought symptoms, ignored the fracture. I tried to become smaller, more agreeable, less observant, hoping flexibility would restore balance. It only erased parts of me. Resentment grew where honesty starved. Affection felt conditional, touch lost ease. Eyes avoided confession, we coexisted louder than we connected. Loss began before goodbye, mourning happened mid-sentence. I stayed while grieving, smiled while unraveling, loved while preparing for absence. Then came the ending, not dramatic, not kind, just final. A door closing without ceremony. Silence expanded aggressively, rooms echoed memory, songs triggered timelines. Objects held weight, everything spoke except you. Anger tried to take over, it wanted blame, it wanted relief through accusation. I let it speak briefly, then sent it away. Reflection demanded honesty, not cruelty, not nostalgia, just truth without decoration. I listened, I saw where I ignored signs, where I romanticized potential, where fear of loss shaped decisions, where love turned possessive, where growth stalled. I forgave myself first for wanting deeply, for staying longer than wisdom suggested, for confusing attachment with devotion, for learning the hard way. I forgave you next, not to reopen doors, to close them clean. Release feels lighter than resentment, it restores balance. Love did not fail, it evolved from passion, a lesson, from connection to clarity, from attachment to understanding. Now memory sits differently, no sharp edges, no urgency, just recognition of what was real and what was imagined. I no longer chase reflections or replay moments, seeking alternate endings. I let the story stand as written, incomplete, honest. There is strength in surviving, tenderness and not hardening after loss, and choosing awareness over armor. I carry that forward. If love returns, it will meet a steadier version of me, one who listens sooner, speaks clearer, leaves earlier when misaligned. You were a chapter necessary, transformative, finite. I honor that. The color of your eyes no longer pulls me backward. It reminds me of growth, of cycles, of endings that refine, not erase. I move on without bitterness, without denial, without regret. heavy enough to anchor me. What we shared shaped me, what we lost freed me. Love remains possible, not naive, not guarded, informed, present. And that feels like peace.
People talk loud about freedom while renting approval. Smiles traded for attention, bodies offered for access. Truth stays unpaid. Value drops when standards fold, not by accident, by repetition, by silence, by applause chasing. Mirror asks hard questions, crowds answer with noise. Noise never raises worth, it masks doubt, delays consequence. Respect starts private, before outfits, before captions, before rooms full of eyes. Self-regard forms the base. Desire without direction leaks power. Affection without care erodes trust. Access without intention leaves damage. Patterns repeat until faced. Men learn conquest early. Applause rewards distance. Emotion framed as weakness. Accountability avoided. Cycles stay alive. Women learn performance early. Attention sold as currency. Boundaries labeled attitude, worth measured by reaction. Cycles stay alive. Both sides fed the same lie. Validation equals value. Numbers equal meaning. Image equals truth. None of it holds. Energy follows choice. Choice follows belief. Belief built daily. Word by word. Action by action. No crown arrives from approval. No throne built from bodies. No future secured by impulse. Short-term praise fades fast. Watch who benefits, watch who leaves, watch patterns. They speak louder than promises. Love asks for clarity, desire asks for honesty. Anything else borrows language. Confusion wears romance as disguise. Self-control reads boring to crowds. Discipline sounds old. Integrity feels quiet. Quiet builds longevity. Pressure sells shortcuts. Shortcuts charge interest. Interest collects later. Always does. People mock restraint until damage shows. And wisdom gains respect, late expensive. Sex holds power, so does silence, so does choice. Power unused stays owned. Nothing wrong with wanting, everything wrong with erasing self. Nothing wrong with pleasure, everything wrong with losing direction. Ask better questions. Why this person? Why this moment? Why this cost? If connection lacks respect, exit early. If attraction lacks care, step back. No need to perform value, carry it, rooms adjust. Men earn trust through consistency, not charm, not volume, not conquest. Women earn peace through boundaries, not approval, not tolerance, not shrinking. Both earn growth through honesty, hard, necessary, non-negotiable. Legacy starts in private habits, who you choose, what you accept, what you excuse. Ego sells fast, wisdom compounds slow. Time exposes difference. Choose depth, choose patience, choose alignment. Crowds fade. Self remains. This lesson repeats until learned, not cruel, precise. Protect your worth, no audience required. No permission asked, no apology owed. Stand firm, move clean, let action speak. Respect survives trends, character outlives attention. Truth stays after noise leaves that. Think people chase approval, status, bodies. It never stays. What stays? Self-respect, clarity, direction. Choose wisely.
felt safer than reflection. Distance masked repetition. Every turn promised relief. Every shortcut looped back. Pattern stayed intact. I chased distraction dressed as progress. Busy days hid unresolved choices. Motion replaced direction. Laughter softened tension. Jokes hid avoidance. Charm delayed accountability. I noticed habits forming quietly. Late decisions, early excuses. Running felt active, standing still felt exposed. Exposure demanded honesty. I told myself movement meant growth. Evidence suggested otherwise, results stayed familiar. The mind finds clever ways to postpone change. Tomorrow became a shelter, urgency dissolved. I blame time and I blame circumstance. I blame fatigue, responsibility. Waited patiently, it never chased, it stayed visible. I replayed choices at random hours, not to judge, to understand why repeat outcomes already studied. Why expect new results without revision? Logic asked quietly. I learned avoidance consumes energy, more than effort, more than correction. Facing issues reduced noise, clarity replaced tension. Focus returned, I stopped narrating struggle. I started measuring action, metrics exposed truth. Fear appeared smaller when named undefined. Fear felt larger, precision reduced weight. I reviewed decisions like data inputs, outputs. Some moves lacked intention, some reactions lacked thought, awareness, adjusted pace. Humor remained useful, not as cover as relief. I kept lightness without evasion, balance improved communication, listen improved outcomes. Cycles revealed entry points, triggers showed patterns, patterns suggested exits. I practiced staying present during discomfort, discomfort faded faster than expected, growth followed. I noticed how often escape looked productive, meetings replaced action, planning replaced execution. I trimmed excess commitments, focus improved, energy stabilized. Running used to feel necessary, now it feels optional, choice replaced impulse. I paused before decisions, seconds changed direction, patience paid dividends. Old habits resisted quietly, they negotiated relevance. I declined politely. I stopped dramatizing mistakes, correction worked better forward motion resumed. I tracked progress honestly, no inflation, no denial. Small adjustments delivered results, consistency built momentum. Momentum restored confidence. I recognized avoidance as fear of clarity. Clarity demanded standards, standards demanded effort. Effort felt lighter than expected, resistance exaggerated, cause reality proved manageable. I replaced running with evaluation. Evaluation led to planning, planning led to execution. Execution revealed capability, capability reduced fear. Fear lost influence. I spoke openly with myself, no performance, no audience. Truth required less energy than excuses. Maintenance simplified, direction sharpened. I learned progress tolerates imperfection. Avoidance demands perfection. Perfection stalled action, I accepted incomplete steps. Iteration improved quality, learning accelerated. Time felt cooperative once honesty arrived. Days felt usable, evenings felt lighter. I stayed with discomfort longer, answers surfaced naturally. Insight followed patience, running stopped defining identity. Growth took its place, stability follows. I noticed how often escape framed itself as freedom. True freedom required presence, presence required courage. Courage grew through repetition, practice normalized effort, effort normalized change. I held myself accountable without hostility. Firm standards, clear intent. Humor remained part of the process. It kept perspective healthy, it prevented rigidity. I adjusted expectations, progress measured in consistency, not intensity. I stopped outrunning questions, I started answering them. Answers reduced noise, movement gained meaning again. Steps aligned with purpose, direction stayed steady. I learned rest differs from escape, rest restores. Escape delays, I chose restoration, energy return, focus followed. I noticed fewer loops, fewer excuses, fewer repeats. The urge to run still appears, recognition arrives faster, choice intervenes. I stay with the moment, breathing steady, thought informs action. I move forward without urgency, pace feels intentional, progress feels earned. No chase, no retreat, only direction.